Hey everybody, this is SiFu Roy Lane, Lane's Martial Arts. I want to come to everybody with something that me and one of my private class students, we just got done with a private class, and afterwards they had some questions for me, and I get this question all the time, either through my inbox or people just send me messages and want my input on the difference between self-defense and sport arts. Well, folks, the answer to that is pretty simple. It's pretty cut and dry. Self-defense, first of all, you need to understand what martial arts really means. What martial arts is. Martial arts means war-like art, okay? It does not mean sport-like art, all right? There's nothing sport in martial arts. Now, there is a sport side to martial arts, which is extremely fun. I was a competitor my entire, actually from my teenage years on up to about 2007, 2008, and I still enjoy good sport martial arts activity. However, you need to know the difference. Years ago, when I very first started martial arts, I learned from a militant instructor, actually my father. He learned in the military, in the Navy. He was part of a special weapons recovery team where they retrieved stolen documents and weapons for the United States government. So the stuff that he taught me was straight militant by nature. It was no nonsense. It was not pretty. It was straight to the point stuff, okay? Now, as I got a little bit older, I ventured into sport martial arts, which loved it, met some of the best people in the world. Make a long story short, right out of high school, I got into the nightclub industry. So, and I was in the nightclub industry for right around a decade, which I was able to learn a lot about both of these types of martial arts. I was able to learn use my traditional stuff and also see what did not work with my sport stuff. To make a long story short, the main difference between self-defense and sports is this right here. A long, extensive book of rules, what you can and can't do. And what is really bad about conditioning yourself to always train in a sport environment is you're preconditioning your mind to not train or attack vital areas of your opponent. You're not going to attack his eyes. You're not going to attack his throat. You're not going to attack his solar plexus, groin, or knees, okay? Because it can do a lot of harm, which is exactly what you want to do in self-defense, okay? Self-defense is not a game. And even worse is you're pre-conditioning yourself, thinking that you're safe in these areas, and you're not. You come to class day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, over and over and over, conditioning yourself that someone cannot hit you in the eyes, the neck, the throat, whatever the case may be, or they get penalized for it. And it's true. Well, the problem there is when you meet a self-defense person on the street for whatever reason, he is setting all of his techniques up to hit those areas to stop you like that, okay? Perfect example, when you watch the UFC and you see these guys square off and someone throws a jab and the fingers are exposed and that finger goes into that eyeball, what happens, people? That is stopped, okay? The fight is stopped. The fighter usually balls up in a corner somewhere. The referee says stop because that's a real technique. That's a real self-defense technique, and it's not a sport. The bad thing about sports is you have an entire book on rules and regulations to keep you safe, and you have a referee dictating how much damage is done in that ring. On the street, you don't have that. You don't have that for yourself, your family, any of the loved ones that you might have. You're not confronted with guns, knives, sticks, multiple attackers, things that are real in self-defense. So I encourage everybody, if you do not practice this on a regular, if your school does not practice this on a regular, or at least every now and then, I highly encourage you to practice some self-defense, some true martial arts. Make it a part of what you do. Because if you spend years and years and years thinking that you're safe and someone hits you with one of these shots, it's very disheartening. Okay, I would not want anything like that to ever happen to you or your family. At least sometimes train in some of these areas of self-defense. Okay, now that's probably all the time I got now. I'm not sure when this thing's going to cut off. So to all the students here at Lane's Martial Arts, continue your training, continue to work on this stuff. Even when we don't work on it in class as much as I would like to, we work on it on a regular. Take it home, work on your stick, your gun, your knife disarms. And those of y'all out there who would like to learn some of this, that you just don't know any of it, we're more than welcome. As always, I'm always dedicated to y'all's success. Come down to Lane's Martial Arts. We're more than glad to help you out. Have a blessed day.